What is up, Ham Radio? KB3GRG here. Welcome to another episode of Ham Radio Adventure, guys. Humpday Happy Hour.
Humpday.
At least I got the intro right. James is in the chat, and he's not able to join us on the stream, so we're going to do a demonstration on Winlink and how to send emails over the radio, and how you can use that for Parks on the Air as well, because, you know, we're not going to do anything without it being beneficial to Parks on the Air. And while we're at it, let's take a moment and thank our Patreons here. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the channel. Oh, boy. And while we're at it, let's give an update on the Adventure Club.
Yeah, shout out to Bruce, India Charlie Papa, and James Jenner, and Kurt for the off-stream donations.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. All right. So how's everything going with you, Dan?
Man, pretty good, pretty good. Just glad James is making his way back. He decided to derail the whole dang train, so it's going to be a little bit before he gets back home.
Sounds like he's got an epic robe on the way home. So
it does with some good company.
Some very good company, yes. I'm glad that they could come through and help him out.
Yeah, definitely.
So as we talked about before, you're not too familiar with Winlink.
No, I have not. This will be my first experience with it, so it'll be good to learn.
Okay, well, Winlink is an email application that lets you send emails over the radio to other nodes that may or may not be connected to the internet. I first learned about it through the National Traffic System. And the National Traffic System is a way of sending radiograms across the country, and they practice that on a daily basis. And they use I'm looking at the comments here. They use Echolink as a backup to voice communications and sending radiograms. It's also popular with e-com groups. And in the top of the chat, I posted one of the Virginia e-com group. They do something called Winlink Wednesday, where they'll take check-ins from every Wednesday. I'm trying, Kurt. I'm a little nervous. They'll take check-ins every Wednesday from all over the country, and for emergency preparedness reasons. Okay. So it's pretty cool. And tonight, if everything goes right, we're going to actually spot on the POTA page and show you how it can be used for Parks on the Air. So let me bring up the screen that I have set up here. And we'll just make that bigger. This is your Winlink Express program, and this is just the basic setups. It looks like a regular email server. It's got some extras in it.
All right, so that's just like a regular, well, not a regular, but like an email client. You got your inbox, your outbox.
It's like an email client, and
okay.
From that you can. Well, I've got a session opened up already. Let's close that down. So we'll bring this back up. You can open up a session, and there's a bunch of different modes that you can use. You can use Telnet, which is just regular internet. Mm-hmm. You can use Packet Winlink, Pactor Winlink, and some of these are left over from the old days where you actually had to plug a TNC to your computer and to the radio, and do it the old-fashioned way with the modems and everything for the radios.
Right.
My preference is Vera HF, which is a virtual TNC. Uses your sound card just like all the other digital modes, and it's really neat. So once you do that, you pick your mode. We're going to open up the session. And this is your Winlink session. And we'll make that big. And this is a nice thing too, because this will help you figure out what you're going to connect to. If you click on channel selection here, I don't know if I can make that any bigger. Oh yeah, I can. These are all the different nodes in my area. They're listed by call sign, they're listed by frequency, grid square, and the distance away from me, and the bearing, and all of that's good information to know if you want to figure out which direction you're going or how far away you're going. If you're on, most of them are on 80 meters and 40 meters, so it's pretty localized.
I got you. So those are the ones that are online right now, listening for you to send your traffic to.
Yes, these
Okay.
are the ones, and you can update that list. I'd recommend updating it through the internet, but you can update it through the internet or the radio. If you're up on the top of a mountain and you need to update it because you're in a different area and you don't know what's closer to you, you can update through the radio. It does take a long time.
Right.
Over here in green shows your reliability numbers. The higher the reliability, the better the connection will be. Oh, one other thing. My Winlink address is my call sign, KB3GRG in capital letters, at winlink.org in lowercase. So if you guys in the stream want to send a question to me, send it to that address through any regular email, and we'll see if we can pick it up here in a couple of minutes when we connect.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So we're all updated, and we have our session here. And then this is the Vera HF program, and it's got a bunch of dials and well, we'll actually go into that a little bit later when we actually connect. That shows your it's just like with some of the digital modes, like FT8, you can see across the bandwidth and see where all the activity is, and you can adjust your automatic frequency control and your noise levels and stuff like that. So let's start with, let's send a test email. So here I have message window that's not cooperating. Can't make it any bigger.
Yeah, you can't make that one bigger.
Well, that stinks.
Yeah. Windows, man. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Well, that's what James in Canada said earlier. Winlink stinks because it's Windows based. Now I know why. So, yeah, let's post something. Actually, let's go to, let's send a request. So to use this for Parks on the Air to spot yourself, the the email address is parks, POTAGW@outlook.com. So we'll type that in the two, POTAGW@outlook.com. And when you're first using the Parks on the Air gateway is what I call it. I've heard other people refer to that. If you send a message to that email address and type in help in the subject, it will send you instructions in another email on how to use that. And I have that saved email. We'll bring that up in a minute and go through all of that. But this is all you need to get the help. And then you click on post that to Outbox. And then you'll see here that message is in the Outbox. So then we'll go to our session. And I'll turn the radio up a little bit so everybody can hear it. Make sure it's clear. We click start, connect. And you can see I'm calling N2LEE located in DC. Can you hear that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So what it's doing now, my radio is sending a connection algorithm over the air, and they're going to respond back and forth. So if you look on the Vera HF link, you'll see a black line go across where I'm transmitting, and then another line. And now the two are connected and they're exchanging data.
I got you.
They'll send packets of data, and then there's a check at the end to make sure that what's being sent and what's being received match up. It's like a built-in error correction.
I got you. So it sends it like chunks at a time, and then each chunk it verifies that it made it.
Exactly. And if you look in here, it's sent one message that quick.
Okay.
And it's going off. That's awesome.
Kurt wants to know he has the software installed and configured, and he wants to know what he has to do to get on the air now.
Oh, we'll have to go through settings for that. Let's see. Let's wait till this is done. Oh, I'm receiving a message. See if somebody sent me an email from the stream. That low tone you hear in the background is interference. So this is really good for noisy bands. You know, when some people, it happens in the CW portion of the band. So sometimes people are sending CW on the side, and it just goes right through that. So we see here that I connected to the N2LEE node. I sent one message.
Mm-hmm.
It was a total of 204 bytes. Turn that down. The time was 1:43. And then I received one message, 185 bytes, and the total time was about a minute, 1:09 for the whole session.
Okay.
So let's make this small.
And I'm guessing the next time you check, you'll receive another one from your help request, right?
Yes. Let's see what we have in the inbox here. Aha. Chris.
Hey, nice.
Chris. Let me make that big so everybody can see it. AE4XO Chris says, "Hi there. Hope all is well. We're trying." Yeah, I apologize to everybody. I'm a little nervous. That's why I like being a sidekick instead of the main show.
This is really interesting. So I'm getting a kick out of it.
So let's see. Settings is pretty straightforward. We got Winlink Express. Oh, well, let's stop our session and we'll go through some setup stuff. So it's pretty straightforward, just like most of the other digital, most of the digital stuff. You have to register with Winlink, and you have you put in your call sign as your username and a password, and then you have a recovery email. That's really important. If you ever forget your password, they can send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And down here, you would have to put in your grid square. And when you register, they send you a key. Don't use mine because it won't work. And then you put your contact information in here. And that's basically it for the email part of it. So we'll close that. Then you have to pick what type of session you want to use. And this works on HF, VHF. It works point to point. So I could connect to someone else that has it and we could send messages back and forth. Most of the time I connect to a node, or you could connect to the internet like I mentioned before.
And that node basically just takes your messages and then forwards it on to where it's supposed to be, right?
It does. And if it doesn't have a internet connection, it'll forward it on to another one that does.
I got you. Okay.
So I picked Vera HF. Vera is a really fast, I want to say military grade, but I don't know if the military uses it, but that was what it was designed for, is that style of communications.
Basically just a software TNC then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once you get the main Winlink page set up, you can go here, open a session, and set this up, and tell it your TNC settings. They're pretty standard, especially after you download Vera, and they kind of work together to set each other up. But you have your virtual TNC host address, the command port, standard stuff like you would be setting up it for FT8 or work in other digital modes. Let's see what else we have in here. You can, no, that's one I just had. You can set up your radio. So I've got the 991A, tell it USB digital. You put what COM port it's on, what baud rate you're operating at. And then a push to talk. Set that to the 991A and pretty much plug and play. And over here on the Vera, let's see what else I got in this session thing. And then you've got transmit levels.
Kurt, I believe that's correct. You do need a TNC software in order to open a session.
Yes,
unless you're using the internet based, I would assume.
Yes. You don't need to have a TNC, but that's where Vera comes in, as the TNC. Yep. And I actually just subscribed to their service. Well, I got the key for it and unlocked its true potential, and I've gone from having sessions that take 5 minutes to this session now that just took a minute and a half.
Nice.
So yeah, there's that. And this, when you bring up the Vera, this is where you find out your information that you're going to put into the Winlink session. And that's basically it. Close that. This tells you.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of information we're going over here, so definitely replay it to get it all. So.
Oh yeah, and I'm always available to anybody that wants to learn anything about it. I use it quite a bit. I've used it out in the field before. So let's put that over there. Let's connect one more time and see if we got anything else. Let's connect to a different one. I've got a couple of them different that are saved. Let's try this.
Every time you connect to a node, does it automatically do a send and receive, or do you have to tell?
Yes.
It? Okay.
No. When I open this session, that's down here, and I click start, it goes through a protocol of, send, receive, who are you? It's kind of like a handshake, and then they go on and check the email server for messages in or out.
Gotcha.
So we're going to connect the KV3 PCY. Turn the volume back up. And that connected pretty quick. Now, if you look here in the Vera FM window, you see that it's sending out an acknowledgement
Right.
tone. So that's the two computers trying to link up with each other. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to connect to that. It happens sometimes. So let's try this. Not connected to this one, really. Okay, so it's sending out the acknowledgement. Now it's sending out the data. And if you look in this window, it gives you the status of what's going on. Right now I'm connected to WA3MEZ. It's 37 kilometers from me. And I have 120 daily minutes remaining to connect to the server. They do limit your time because it's a national thing that everybody uses.
I got you. Yep.
And this one actually keeps track of total accounts and total messages that I've ever sent through them.
Kurt in the chat wants to know, what frequency and mode do you have to be on the radio, or will the software do the control for you?
The software does the control for you. It's a cat control.
Okay.
And that's all set up in the software. I use USB digital upper sideband,
Gotcha.
like you would for all the other digital modes. And each node that you connect to has different frequencies. If you look up here in the top, that's the center frequency, is 7.101.200, but I'm actually transmitting on 7.099.700.
I got you.
And if you look here on the Vera HF screen, you can actually see the blocks of data that are being sent and received. Let's see if we've got anything else. No new messages.
You cut your radio volume down just a tad. It's kind of loud.
Okay. Always reminds me of the Empire Strikes Back movie when they're on the Hoth Ice planet and the Imperial droids are trying to communicate.
Sounds like R2D2. Yeah.
Yeah, I always get a giggle out of that when I play with Winlink.
Let's see if we got your help message back from POTA.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If not, I've got one saved that we could bring it up and we can move to how we use this for Parks on the Air.
T-Ray asks, will a clear node work for what you're doing here? I'm not sure what you mean by a clear node, T-Ray.
Yeah, that's a good question. I did get my Parks on the Air message, so we'll take a look at that.
Maybe a node that's not already in use. I don't know if you can tell that from the status screen or not, or if a node can take multiple connections at once. I'm not sure.
No, it's usually one connection at a time. Oh, it's a brand name.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not familiar with that brand.
I'm not either.
Might have to join us in the after chat and explain that. But I put if you go to winlink.org, that has all the information on everything Winlink. That's where you want to go to That's where you want to go to set up your account and read all the information there is about it.
Clear mode for all, Eric said.
Oh, okay. There you go. I think it's primarily through software. There may be like a client program that you have to do to create your own Winlink node. We're getting a little interference, so it's taking a little while. If you look here on the top, this green bar that's coming across the screen, that's the progress of the email being downloaded.
I got you,
Right
but
now,
it's good. It's good. It sends in chunks and then verify that chunk. That way you can tell a little bit
absolutely.
a little bit of error correction going on there.
Right now, I have 698 bits of 1250, and I'm currently downloading the message at 432 bits per minute.
Right.
So it's taking a little while.
The Smoking Ape, what's up, brother? Yeah, this is a very technical stream tonight. You're right about that.
It's not too bad. Like I said, the hardest part with Winlink is getting it set up. And if you've set up FT8 or any other digital mode, you got a pretty good head start on how to do this. This is the longest this has ever taken. Let's minimize this while that's working in the background.
It's a good real world situation too, how to deal with interference and how long that might take.
Absolutely. So let me bring up, oh, there it goes.
Hey, Sandy, welcome. Let me see you.
So let's see what the POTA Gateway has to say. So you can download this yourself. You could actually go onto your own email client, like your AOL or whatever. Send
AOL.
Send AOL. Well, I still use AOL.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Sorry. Well, they don't say you've got mail anymore, but yeah, I still use AOL. I've got a Verizon.net account through work, and AOL does all of their clienting now because they got out of that business. But if you send an email to potagw@outlook.com and put in the subject help, you will get back basically a user's menu of how to spot yourself online or through Winlink. And you can also send a request for the current spots that are on the spotting page. So it'll send information to you about the spotting page, and you can send information to the spotting pages and vice versa.
Nice.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Eric said you have to enable incoming messages or else Winlink will reject them.
I don't know what that means.
I guess from emails coming in from outside of the Winlink network, which is weird because you got one from Chris earlier. So obviously that's set up.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, Eric. Maybe you could elaborate a little bit on that. I just sent myself from my home email account. I sent myself test emails back and forth either way. And I don't remember on my home email. I tried to email you from outside Winlink and it was rejected. Now, the thing is, the call sign has to be capital letters and the winlink.org has to be in all lowercase. I did run into that problem before.
Oh, winlink.org.
Yeah, winlink.org has to be in all lowercase.
I was curious because I sent you one earlier to winlink.net, but I messed up.
I had that up there. I must have closed that window. It shouldn't, but it does, unfortunately. Because, well, I can maybe bring it up. I sent it all caps, and it was rejected by I call it the email demon. It says it couldn't be delivered. Okay. I don't know.
Winlink.org. Okay, I'll send you one here.
I don't have a spam folder either. So actually, I can try and send Eric one in the after chat later on. We'll try and get that figured out. But in the invite, so back to the Parks on the Air users menu, it shows you how to self spot by using your call sign, then the park reference, the frequency in kilohertz, what mode you're going to use, and then your comment. So highlighted here is the example.
Okay, so it's just spot and then your call sign, your park reference, frequency in kilohertz, your mode, SSB, CW, FT8, whatever, and then whatever spot comment you want to put in like free text. I got you.
Exactly. And then there's another option for viewing spots. But right now we're going to try to, I've got one saved here. So this is how you want to format your email to spot yourself. You type spot, then the call sign, and we're going to use K-test because we're not in a park. Then we're going to do 7200 single sideband, and the comment is going to be test spot with Winlink. Excuse me. And then I've got to bring that up, and we're going to post that to the outbox. And I've got Parks on the Air here. Just put that on the side.
Just spot yourself at the 6th for in Wyoming and see how many replies you get.
Yeah, there you go. So now we've posted that message to the outbox. You can see it in the outbox here. So we're going to put that back down here. We'll make this one bigger. We're going to start. Let's use the one that's closer to us so that we get it through a little quicker. We're going to start that up. Oh, let me make sure it's clear. Yeah. Bring up our Vera. Yes, Eric. That's how I had to do it when I sent my personal email account. I emailed myself through Winlink just to see what my Winlink address was.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what do we got here? Failure to connect. Real world situations. All right, let's go back to this one. There we go. Is that too loud again, Dan?
No, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to put the spotting page up here too.
Yeah, apparently that sender not authorized for any recipient and you get a delivery failure. You have to, all right, let's see. There's an accept list of Winlink emails. And if you're not in the white list, your email will be rejected.
So right now we're sending our spot to the POTA gateway. And I've got it up here. Put it on single sideband. We'll put it on 40 meters. We'll see who shows up. One message sent. And we're disconnecting. And that took under a minute to send that out.
Okay.
Let's minimize that again. Good. Now, if we go over here to the POTA page, see if I can make it refresh. See how long it takes. I never timed how long it took to actually go through. Do we have any questions in the chat while we're waiting for my spot to show up?
I think the biggest one right now is how would you modify your accept list? Because a lot of people are getting the message delivery failure when they try to send you an email, myself included.
Interesting.
Let's see. It says unsolicited email originating outside of the winlink.org domain will not be delivered unless the user first accepts mail from that source or sender.
Interesting. I've never run into that problem before. What email server are you using?
It probably adds it to the accept for your Verizon one that you used to test with. You probably emailed yourself from Winlink.
Okay.
And when you email from Winlink, it'll automatically add the recipient to your accepted list so they can reply.
Chris says he used Winlink email client to send it to me.
I got you. That's why.
So we can see now that the test spot has showed up.
Yep. I see it on mine too.
And I'll just QRT it. So the reason that I got interested in this, I saw this on Facebook, and when I went to activate, my worst activation that I almost failed on was Lost River State Park in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And you go into that park and it's like 0 cell coverage.
Gotcha.
And I always wondered if I could, there's a way to spot with APRS. And I'm still working on that. I need to get a radio to where I can text on the radio because I can't connect my cell phone to the radio anymore. There's a way to do that through APRS, and when I'm capable of doing that, I'll come back on and show you all how to do that. Mm-hmm. But the next best thing was, I figured APRS is limited to VHF or UHF, or VHF, I guess, 2 meters. So yeah, let me just get that off of I'm done with that. So the next best thing that I could think of is Winlink.
Yeah, so you can spot. Yeah, just if you're on the top of a soda summit somewhere, or even a remote POTA park that you don't have internet, this would be very useful.
Mm-hmm. You can use Winlink worldwide. There's nodes all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, let's send Dan an email. Do you mind giving your email out?
Yeah, Dan? Yep. Dan at wd4dan.net. I'm reading on Winlink's site right now. It says each message that you send from your Winlink account to a recipient on the internet will be automatically added to your whitelist. So once you send me an email, I'll be able to reply to you.
Well, let's find this whitelist.
Let's see.
Well, we can look that up. I'm going to send you a test email.
Okay.
And post that to the outbox. Go over here to the session. Start it again. Okay.
In case anybody else runs into that issue, a link in the chat to how to manage your whitelist on winlink.org.
Well, let's talk me through that one.
All right, let's see. It doesn't give specifics. Basically, what it says, send a Winlink message to system in all caps at winlink.org.
Uh-huh.
And the subject is whitelist in all caps.
Okay. But there's no specific user setting or anything like that?
Not that I can see.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So you send a Winlink to system in all caps at winlink.org. Your subject is going to be whitelist in all caps. And then in the body of the message, if you just type list and send it, it'll return a list of all of your entries in your whitelist.
Oh, interesting.
Or you can accept colon and then an email address will add somebody, or delete colon email address will remove somebody.
I'll definitely do some research on that.
And you can also add entire domains. So you can do accept colon AOL.com if you want everybody from AOL to be able to email you. So,
okay. Well, yeah, I guess it would work with Verizon.
and I got your text message.
There you go.
Let me reply to it.
And I just got a message.
Might have been somebody else because I
From
just
Eric.
sent mine. Very nice.
www.59worldwide.com. I've seen that. I want to know what more about that. Not sure what that is. Who else did I get a message from? Oh, and I got a confirmation from the POTA Gateway that my spot was posted.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, that's going to be very useful if, like I said, you're without internet in a park. I know some of the parks I go to, the internet's very spotty.
I'm fortunate enough in my home park that I can use a cell phone booster, and Hammers works and the database works, and I don't have to worry too much about it.
Right.
Even in my park in my home park in West Virginia, it's pretty good. I think the dominant cell carrier out there is AT&T, and I'm on Verizon, so I run into issues with that.
You ever feel dirty using AT&T?
What's that?
So do you ever feel dirty using AT&T?
I've never used AT&T.
All right, let's see. You should have my text message.
Well, see, and that's another thing. Toby sent me two really good questions before the stream.
Okay.
She's in a club meeting tonight. She asked me if there are any alerts like you would on your normal email service. There are not any alerts that you get. You have to. Most Winlink operators have certain times, like once every hour they'll connect, or once a day they'll connect, or twice a day they'll connect, just to keep their inbox up to date.
Gotcha.
So if you're not transmitting on the radio, you're missing messages.
All right, so it's not like an instant kind of push service kind of thing. You actually have to go out and make the effort to say, okay, I want to see if I have any new emails.
Oh, there you go. Sorry your internet's down, Eric. But yeah, this is a great way if you need to send an email and disaster hits, or something. God forbid another volcano goes off on the island and takes out your internet. You can email all your friends and family through Winlink that you're okay. Right. Send help.
Good off-grid way of communications, that's for sure. Oh, Chris said you can schedule it to check every so often, like automatically just leave the client open, and I guess you can set up a schedule.
I haven't gone that deep into it. Like I said, I've primarily used it while I'm down here as a part of either Winlink Wednesday with the Virginia Ecom group, or through the traffic nets. I did not get your email yet, Dan.
Let me see if it bounced back. Ain't no telling.
You got mine there, right?
I did, and I replied to it. So.
Okay. Yeah, then I should get it.
No, it bounced back again. It said I was not authorized for that recipient. That's weird.
Interesting. Well, I will definitely dig into that one.
Maybe it takes a while to add me to the whitelist.
That could be.
send another reply here.
Good evening, Pamela in Massachusetts. Thanks for joining us.
Little fun fact: I was born in Massachusetts. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, I was born in Worcester, Massachusetts. We used to live in Spencer, just outside of Worcester, and I can still not spell Massachusetts without looking at it.
I don't think I ever could either. I knew one time when I was a kid.
I just say Mike Alpha. Thanks, 7-3. Yeah, my reply again bounced back. I don't know. It's something about the accept list. We'll have to read through that and figure.
Well,
that out.
when we're in the after chat on Discord, we'll play around with it some more.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about a white list.
Eric said I used to be Whiskey Delta 1, Delta Alpha November. No, we moved here when I was 3, buddy, and that explains why I don't have the Massachusetts accent with my car keys.
Mm-hmm. You never parked your car in the yard.
Yard. Harvard Yard.
Well, there you go. That's about everything I know about Winlink and how to spot yourself on Parks on the Air with Winlink.
Yeah, it was a very great high level overview. I mean, I learned a lot, and I've never seen this software before tonight. So very good.
And if anybody has any questions, we could always, meet offline. Or I've got a test chat set up that I know I've worked with Toby with a couple things. We'll do a video chat in StreamYard and work through a couple things. And yes, James, it is really weird you not being on the stream.
James, I'm gonna shoot you the link. See if you can see if you have fun.
Yes, Eric, I did that today, and it does go a lot faster. Before that, I was using the test mode, and you can download Vera and use the test mode and not, subscribe to it, and it's still fast.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I've never had. Today's the first time I've used it with the registration key, and I've never had a connection under a minute.
I wonder if that's their little prodding to get you to do the upgrade.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Because every time you connect under the test mode, another window pops up. Do you want to continue evaluating, or would you like to spend the $69 to buy the full package?
Right, I got you. Is Vera the only virtual TNC that you can use, or do you know if there's others?
There are others, and I didn't dabble into them because it's a lot easier. Vera's the easiest one to use. Let me close this session real quick.
You know what, Kent? That's a very good question. Has James liked his own stream?
Oh, yeah.
Smash that like button, guys.
I don't know if my YouTube, it says there's 7 waiting. I'm pretty sure we're not waiting anymore. So there are some other different TNCs that you can use. There's RDOP, which is a downloadable one. You can use a packet format. There's plenty of packet TNCs that are free that you can use. And you can also do this on 2 meters. I've never been able to get it to work, but you can do it on 2 meters. That's something that one of my goals this year is to get Winlink working on 2 meters with Vera FM.
That would probably be more like a person-to-person rather than going through a node, right?
No, they have nodes that are FM too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you could do the person-to-person.
We have about 10 minutes left in the stream, guys. And I'll tell you what, if we get to 2,000 likes, I will give away James's DX10. That just means I have to buy him another one, but you will have the one he used, and I'll just have to get him another one. But 2,000 likes.
Wow.
I can see people loading up the bots now.
Yeah, so if anybody
buy some more likes, Eric.
If anybody is interested in having a one-on-one session about Winlink, I'd be glad to help you out and get you up and running.
Yeah, and we'll be in the after chat too. So and Hayden will be over there. So hit us up.
Like I said, that's one of the reasons I like Parks on the Air so much, because I'm a in the field, e-com minded person. I always loved operating in the field. I always love operating radios in the field, and POTA just makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, it does. That's a really good overview about how to use it, and very informative for sure. I'll go back and watch it again, and I'm sure other people will. So.
Awesome.
T-Ray said there's only 1,884 more likes to go before you can get your very own King version of the DX10.
I must have something else open because this is not closing.
Hey, Carrie, thanks for toting the King around today for a little bit.
I've got a rogue window open somewhere. Awesome.
It's one of those ones you can't find and can't close, isn't it?
Exactly. So we'll just leave it. I'll do a Control-Alt-Delete before I join Discord.
Does anybody else in the chat have any questions for Hayden about Winlink or just anything in general?
Yeah, now that I can sit here and pay attention. I saw Evan say he didn't learn anything, but that doesn't surprise me.
Evan.
Love you, buddy.
Let me scroll back up here, see if we missed anything.
Now I'm just going to try
and we got most of it
one more time just to see if anything else was out there.
You should have a message from Kurt. And yep, Kurt, thanks for following along here and downloading it and walking along with us.
Oh, good. I'll look for that message right now, Kurt. So what do you got coming up on your end of the world, Dan?
Just work for the rest of the week. I have my I can't call it my big battery box. I'll call it my big box. All torn apart and doing some rewiring to it, add some fuses and everything else. I didn't have any fuses in there before, so getting that all rewired and probably going to hit some parks down around Tallahassee area in Florida this weekend. So.
Cool. Are you documenting the build or?
Not really. It's all fairly straightforward. I'm going to take pictures and post them just in case we have another stream for.
I'd find that a lot really interesting.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking at this now. I'm receiving a message. I've got two messages: KG2MM and one from
golf
Kurt.
to Mike and Kurt. Yep. Very nice.
So I'll be off in West Virginia again this weekend on our barn build. So hopefully I'll have some time, since half of it's up anyway, and have some time to throw the radio up and hunt some good people that are activating.
This might take a while to get a response here, but James, if you're still in the chat, what do you got going on, buddy? I know you're heading back after some snafuism in DC with your train. Well,
I can't believe they derailed a train in front of the King.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to lose their head for that one.
I figured he could just walk up to the Amtrak counter and go, "Don't you know who I am?"
Oh, Here we go. Look at this guy.
Hey, buddy.
Listen, you can't walk up to any Amtrak counter when they're closing trains left and right because the train tracks are covered up, buddy, with derailed trains everywhere.
Well, that is nice. Thank you to your chauffeur tonight, by the way, for picking you up.
You awake? Go back.
What's
You
up?
awake? Hey, buddy.
Look, no hands. I'm driving with no hands.
Uh-oh. So I got a message from KG2MM. Is that Mike? Just saying hello from Jacksonville, Florida. Hi.
That's my buddy Mike from Jacksonville.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Yep.
thought that was Mike.
Kilo Golf 2, Mike. Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm not going to clutter up this stream with a bunch of crappy internet on a phone, but I just wanted to tell everybody thanks for being nice to you guys while y'all streaming, because I definitely can't. For those of you who don't know, the train got derailed and I couldn't get from Washington, D.C. to Charleston. So Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Alpha Victor, and her husband Ray decided they were going to bring me, and we were doing a little rove on the way there, and then we broke down. So
wow.
off Quebec ended up having to come and get me, and yeah. Long story short, it's been crazy.
You made it in one piece, and you're healthy. That's what counts.
Roger that. I'll hang out. I'll probably come over and try to hang out a little bit in the after chat. But thanks to everybody who is watching, and I'll hang out in the chat here if anybody needs to talk to me.
All right. I hope you
Thanks, guys.
make it home safe and have a good night. We'll catch you in the after chat in Discord.
A cameo from the king.
Cameo from the king. And I got a message from Kurt that says, Hayden, this is my first Winlink email. And I'm going to send him a response to that. Congratulations, Kurt. Glad it worked for you. So it's fun. I like playing around with different things. I like quirky digital modes. And
Yeah, that's really nice.
so that's
Well,
about
good
all
stream.
I have. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and putting up with my awkwardness on the stream.
No, we did a great job, man. Very informative. And like I said, if anybody else has any questions, shoot over there.
Yeah.
You moved on me. Shoot Hayden an email and let him know.
Shoot me an email. Join us on Discord. Send me a message in Discord. And we're going to the after chat. If you guys want to hang out, join us. If you're not a Patreon member and want to know what all this craziness on the after chat is, we do let you come in for a night and check it out. Go to the Discord link, message me, and we'll get you hooked up.
Sure will. We'll see y'all in the after chat, guys.
All right, 73, everyone. Have a good night.